Welcome to Queries and Results, a podcast from Page One Power, where we sit down with SEO industry experts and discuss a variety of topics inside of SEO. Today we have part 2 of our 2-part series where we sit down with Harris, Katie, and Amethyst from Page One Power's content team to discuss the role that content plays in the overall SEO strategy. This episode of Queries and Results is sponsored by Pages Magazine. Sign up for a free subscription to the best SEO magazine in the industry. Receive news, interviews from industry leaders, and helpful guides directly in your mailbox every quarter. Visit pagesseomagazine.com.
Let's take a few steps back now, though. We're going to go back to more of like the beginning outreach part of it. We've talked quite a bit about like content and dove into our processes there, but so let's talk more about our outreach process. So we use tools, we email, we try to find different sites. Like, do we have any idea on how many sites we have to outreach to end up with like one relationship? Do we have data that's out there like that, or gut checks?
We are so close. We are so close to that data. It's super convoluted,
Sure.
Of course, to actually find that number.
Right. Gut check. If you had to just...
Yeah, a success rate for us right now is if you're getting a response on 10% of the emails that you send, like that is good. Those actually turning into relationships, that's kind of the number that we're really, really trying to find like actual data for right now.
Sure.
But send 100 emails, 10% back on that, like the response rate is it's not for the weak-hearted.
Sounds like sales.
I mean, it basically is.
Right.
It basically is.
Right.
Yeah.
It really is. There's a lot of correlation there between sales and outreach for link building, for sure.
Selling your ideas.
Yeah. So we have to churn through a lot of sites. Sites aren't easy to come across. What are some of like, maybe there is some communication, and then we get some editorial guidelines. What are some of like those main guidelines that we see across some of these sites that you can do this and you cannot do this? Can you share some of those so we can paint a picture there?
Well, they definitely want a well-written article. They don't want too many grammatical mistakes. They do usually talk about links.
Okay.
And all of them are like, nothing advertorial. It has to be informative. If that it is advertorial, then you would usually have to pay a fee.
Okay.
Yeah, one of my favorite like things that you see in Write For Us pages about links is they say no promotional links whatsoever. We'll no follow everything, and a lot of Write For Us pages are kind of like the first day of college, where it's like the professor comes in, he's like, you're going to have to write a 1,000-word essay this year, and then half of the students drop out.
Right.
So there's a lot of like bravado in those sorts of requirements. And what the job of our outreachers is to really hone their sense of like, you look at a page, what's bravado and what's real.
Okay.
And then just sending an email and starting off that first email with a very like calculated intent. Like, do I just want to get this person to open my email? If so, I might send them something like, hey, I saw you accept guest writers. Are you still accepting people? I'd love to write for you. Done. Most of ours are a lot more in depth. Something more like, hey, I saw you have a great Write For Us page. I noticed that you mentioned, that your audience really likes camel articles. Have I got a camel article for you? I will be including links to like relevant resources. Let me know if you want to hear like more of a pitch, or if you can just, if you want to see an article. So then we try to set them up to respond about links, so we can at least have a conversation with them before we get the like 1,000-word essay, you're out the door or you're not sort of thing.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So do we ever put ourselves out there like, just so you know, in my original, like when you're original outreaching to a site, just so you know, I'm a link builder.
Have you ever done that?
I've never done that, but I know people have done that, and usually it is not successful.
Why is that? That's what I would like to really
So
talk
I will
about.
say I've done that.
Okay.
I've totally done that. Not on the very first email. Because
yeah,
the very first email is more about like, for me, it's about pitching a good idea or pitching yourself as a writer, someone who can contribute something that your website needs. But one of the site editors know what's up.
Right.
They are not dumb people.
Right.
And so one of the worst things that we can do is try to pretend.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, you notice there are some links in my articles. Oh, that must have been a mistake. It's like
Sure.
it's like we pretending like we're not doing what we're doing. Just for most people, it's just like a definite.
Yeah.
Just turns them off.
Yeah.
I've had success. There's one site that we had a relationship with. I sent the first article and they asked about my links, and I said, you know what? I am having relevant links is a part of what I'm doing here. I strive to only include links to really useful content that your readers will actually find value in. And I ended up getting on the phone with their SEO guy, and we ended up just coming to an agreement. I will include 2 to 3 external links, and I'm also always going to internally link to your site, so it's good for your site. And I ended up we did a whole series for them. It was a card blog. It was really cool. It was really cool.
That is pretty cool. I know there was an experience that when I reported a link to a client, and that client, and you and I had this conversation in the past, and you shared with me the email actually that you went back and forth with a certain webmaster, and this client was asking. I was doing some research, and I found that you can buy links on this page.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so I asked you about it, and it was really cool to see the conversation that you sent me, and it was real similar to that. It was, yeah, I am a link builder, but this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing this. This is how I do things. I'm linking to relevant information. This isn't a spammy tactic. I'm not linking to product pages, and that relationship continued.
And
still
have it today.
They might charge other writers, which is against Google guidelines. But with us, we've created that relationship and established such a solid relationship with this. You have that we have that trust factor with that site, and we have to keep it by still providing them that valuable content. So it really, on that site, that was a great eye opener for me on how we earn every link, and that it's not just let's write an article, let's pitch it to 25 sites and see what sticks. It is a grueling process, day in and day out, for every one of you upstairs to earn every single link that we build for all of our clients. And so that was an awesome. I always go back on that and actually share that with other clients of mine when we are having those conversations. So that was a good example.
Yeah, we really, when we build relationships with these editors, we really have to be able to back them up. If we make shallow promises and then just link to content that is poorly written or just too niche for the site's actual audience, like the editors will lose their patience.
Sure.
Will just stop publishing these articles. Yeah.
So going back now, so we've talked about the
Von Harris is like, okay.
We've talked about the positive we are honest. And that's another thing that we always talk about with our clients and stuff, is being very transparent in our process and who we are and all this kind of stuff. So we're even transparent with our outreach team is transparent to an extent. I mean, maybe not right off the bat, but if we're asked, we're honest with who we are and what we're doing. So why are webmasters or editors or whatever we're calling them, why do they, site owners, there's so many different names for them, why are they so reluctant to allow link builders to write for them?
I don't
What
know
do
if
you
you
think?
want to
Yeah.
as an outreacher.
Yeah.
We have
This
so
is
many
fun.
opinions.
We
so
have
many
some
spicy
thoughts.
opinions on this.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll give you 2.
Yeah, give me a couple of them, and
Maybe.
we'll see if we pull any more.
So from like an outreacher standpoint, like I'm thinking like if I'm getting paid from these links, they want some of that too. They want to get paid as
Okay.
well.
Yep.
And then also it could also be another thing that they're just getting so many submissions too that it's like you need to start paying. I read through so many emails that there needs to be like I need to cull that load.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mhm.
So monetary means, and it's definitely an issue, which I understand. I can totally relate to that. We all want to make money. What's another reason?
I mean, really, it comes down to money.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna come down to money.
Sure.
Blog owners, most of them don't just do it for fun.
Right.
You know, most of them are monetizing in some way from their site.
Uh-huh.
And I think that a lot of sites that exist for a purpose other than just SEO,
Uh-huh.
so sites that like have a readership,
Mm-hmm.
they get hounded.
Sure.
like a lot. And so yeah, they're tired. They're tired and grumpy.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
of
Makes sense.
just like spam emails
Mhm.
all the time. And like most of them know like links, people are, if you're linking to like a business, like you're most likely like you're linking to that business for a reason.
Right.
And so like, well, this blog is my livelihood. Like,
Right.
like if you're gonna get some sort of financial something, if there's
Uh-huh.
anything there, like give me a cut.
Sure. Yeah.
Which, I get.
Right.
Okay.
Totally understandable. So we still don't, and we won't ever pay for links. And so once again, really our ability to break through that gate is by the quality of the content that we deliver to those sites. They see value in there. They're like, okay, no, this is going to be relevant. This can actually help my readers. This can actually help grow my readership. So then my other affiliate type monetizing links and ads and stuff will be clicked on and gain more revenue. Is that a pretty accurate statement?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know like with, and this is just also to solidify the, they get bombarded, and we want to talk a little bit more about that. Like with me in LinkedIn, I'm labeled as an SEO strategist. And so every day I get nailed, I don't know how many times, and it's increased exponentially over the last couple years of people wanting to sell me links. Hey, I got a Costco shopping cart of links. You pick and choose. This is the cost. I'll get you these links. Every day there are probably a half a dozen that I get. And so I imagine the webmasters and editors are probably the same way. They just get constantly bombarded with people trying to build links. And so have you noticed a trend? Let's give it 3 years. Katie, how long have you been at Page One Power?
I think 4 years.
4 years. Okay, let's talk 4 years.
3 to 4 years.
Let's talk 3 years. Time flies. We have no idea how long. It's been so much fun. So in the last 3 years, have we seen a change in the industry when it comes to our ability to build those relationships? Is it more difficult now than it was 2 years ago because there's more link builders out there? Or is there not really a correlation there?
So I'm going to factor in like learning how to do this job takes some time.
Sure.
And so I'm going to factor that into our 3 years.
Sure.
I'm looking at the time.
No, you're good.
You're good.
You're good.
We've got 4 years to go. Oh God. I think it has. I think more editors are just more savvy because they've gotten, in a lot of ways, I feel a little bit like some of our, like my tactics, some of our outreach tactics are to blame because like we are being honest with people, you know, like, yeah, this is what we're doing, but we're gonna give you good content to be the, and then like people who like, if there used to be, I feel like there used to be more like little mom and pop blogs. You can be like, yeah, you want a guest post from me? Absolutely, honey.
Yeah.
And blogging is just, it's like, I mean, it's an industry now. It's really moved from like kind of a hobby thing that you do to like, now there are like mommy bloggers who make just crazy money.
Right.
And they have their affiliates and people who will pay for their trips to Disneyland so they can blog about them. And I feel like it's changed a lot.
Yeah. Amethyst, you?
I definitely notice we get way more responses back saying like, yeah, you can write for us, but it's going to cost you this much. We get a ton more of those.
Well, I've seen that with competitors as well. Some of them have openly come out and said, link building the way we used to do it just isn't as effective. So we are now paying for article placements.
Interesting.
And they're just open about it, which is great. I think it's great that they're transparent about it.
Yeah.
And we're digging in our heels and we're saying, no, the way to build links is still that organic way of providing value to somebody else that isn't money, but providing value to them, to their readers. So I can see, and just over the few years of me managing the individual link product that we have, I've heard countless stories of we have this great relationship, and then all of a sudden, the editor moved and a new editor came into place and over, or policy changes for whatever reason over. There's just so many times that we have great relationships, and for some reason or another, because maybe it's because all the spam they get and because everything else, or they're just like, I need to make more money on this site because I invest so much time into it, I'm now going to charge. And it's definitely a growing issue, and something that I know we as a team, and you guys definitely as a team upstairs, is working so hard to always be building new relationships every day. It's
a lot of emailing.
A lot of emailing. We only have a couple minutes left, and I wanted to just briefly, and this goes back to that quality of content that we provide and the quality of links. So many times my clients are like, I need links to this very geo-specific hotel, or I need links to this product page, or I need links to my page that discusses the intricacies of whatever product I have, but it's informational even though it's about my one product. Why, as link builders, why is that so not just difficult, but really nearly impossible when we're trying to build organic links? Why is that?
Do you want to speak to that one?
Well, it's a dead giveaway that you're a link builder. And it's not like we're trying to be sneaky. Like, we're trying to use resources that will add value to an article. It's not going to really add too much value if you just put in a product, you know? And editors will see right through that and will call you out, and that will be pretty much an end of a relationship.
I feel like the magic of the internet is like it's international quality. You know, it's you can connect with people across the globe. And if you have a resource that's like such and such in Gainesville, Florida, you know, that means that really that article is only for people in Gainesville, Florida, and that if you're putting Gainesville is in Florida, right? Is that
I don't
Gainesville,
know.
Florida?
That's a great example. You keep going.
Camels. But if you have, you know, we want to be able to build links on lots of different kinds of blogs, and if the resource is like specific to one location, I mean, it's not relevant to very many audiences at all.
Unless we're only
That's really
writing for
important.
Florida blogs, which I don't think there are too many.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
when we limit it down to that point,
Yeah.
it's like, relevancy is going to be a stretch.
That is a very, very good point. Well, thank you. And I think walking away from today, I'm gaining a better understanding of it really is relationships once again. Building those relationships with sites, constant outreach, making sure our quality, because like Amethyst says, it's at least touching 6 people, if not more, for every single article that's submitted. That our quality standards are high. So in order for us to earn every single link, there's a lot of time invested in it. And it's not a guarantee. Just because we put 12 hours into one link doesn't mean that 12 hours is going to pay off. We might have to put another 6 hours because it went to the orphanage, and Orphan Annie is working like crazy to get it placed somewhere else. So it's very good insight. So thank you very much.
Thanks for watching. For more episodes of Queries and Results, be sure to visit our website at pageonepower.com.